Hello again, YouTube. It's Gabe coming back to you again with another deck profile. I'm going to be doing my updated Gavrail deck with the support coming from GBT07. So, to get started, I'm still using the starter Black Candle Azrail, which is GB1, Counterblast 1, move to Soul. Put the top card of your deck into your damage zone, put a card from damage to hand. I like her because she lets me get good cards in my damage zone to my hand, like a PG, a grade 3 if I can't stride, so she's really nice for drawing. And what you'll notice in the future is I don't have this deck really isn't a rescue deck like in GB207. I'll give you a rescue deck profile later, but I'm actually not running a lot of the rescue support because I think it's fun. I just don't think it's that amazing. So since I'm not doing a lot of rescue stuff, I'm not really running the rescue starter. Grade 3s, obviously, it's a Gavrail deck, so I'm running 4 copies of Black Shiver Gavrail, which is GB2. Whenever a card's put in the damage zone, your front row gains 2k, which is probably the best GB2 in the game. I think so, at least. And when you stride Counterblast 1, reveal the top, check the top 3 cards of your deck, put one of them in the damage zone, the rest to the bottom of the deck, call a card from damage, and that card gets 2k. So, it's nice, it filters, it deck thins. Gavrail's an amazing card. She's the main grade 3 for the deck. Probably the biggest change I made in the deck since my previous one was I'm now running Love Sniper Nociel. The deck is now more Nociel centric, so I'm running her at 4. She's nice because she has an on-ride ability, which is move a card from hand to damage and put a card from damage to your hand. So filtering, you have an ability you can use pre-G, so it's kind of helpful. And its ability on Vanguard is whenever a card is put into your damage zone, if that card is a Nociel card, Counterblast 1, put the top card of your deck into the damage zone, and add that Nociel card to your hand. So what's really nice about that is if the card that you put in the damage zone for the cost is another Nociel, you can repay the cost to add that card too. So if it's like, oh, damage a Nociel, Counterblast 1, add it to hand. Oh, the card I damaged was a Nociel, add that to hand too. So it's a really nice card. I like it. It helps the deck. Nociel's good. It makes really fun plays, especially on defensive turns whenever you damage check a Nociel, so I like her. Grade 2s, 4 copies of Black Slice Harut, which is the Amber clone. Counterblast 1 boosted, check top 2. Move a card from hand to damage, call a card from damage, put the cards that you checked to bottom of deck. It lets you superior call. It gives you field, which is kind of nice for the deck, especially if you can't really, if you ride into Nociel and not Gavrail, you can't really set up a field as well. So she's a really nice alternative to get your field. Next, running 4 copies of Nurse of Broken Heart, who is probably the best. This is the best grade 2 in Angel Feather. GB1, when a card's put into damage zone, she and your Vanguard gain 2k, so she makes dumb power plays, as you've seen if you've played against the deck. She's a strong card offensively and defensively. She's an amazing card. You kind of have to run her at 4 in most decks, honestly. Next, I'm running 2 copies of Love Machine Gun Nociel, which is on call, move a card from hand to damage, move a card from damage to hand. I run it mostly because it's another Nociel target. Like, it's another card I can damage. If I have Nociel grade 3 on my Vanguard, if I damage her, it's another card I can put into my hand. But also, its ability does come in handy, so I do like to run her at 2. So she's good. She's good too. I don't run her at 3 because I still like to run 1 copy of Million Ray, who is she's Broken Heart, except she only powers up herself pre-GB. I like Million Ray because it's a really good ride because it's basically anti-rush prevention. And it's like none of the other cards you really want to ride. Like you want to have Harut to call cards, you want to have Broken Heart to give power, you want Nociel to swap cards. You don't really want to ride them, so this is a nice alternative and it's a good ride. But yeah, I don't really want to run it at 1. Next, 4 PGs obviously, but I'm running the non-GPG because the deck doesn't have a counterblast issue and it has very important rear guards that you like to keep, so running a PG that can guard rear guards if need be is nice, and you don't really need the unflip because you have a lot of unflipping as itself, so it's a nice card to have. Again, it's a primarily G deck, so I am running 4 Stride Fodder as Black Call Nakir. So on call, check, reveal a grade 3, add Gavrail to hand, discard a card, and if you stride, it becomes a grade 3. So 4 of that. Again, another pretty obvious choice is 4 copies of Thousand Ray, which is Million Ray base, which it's Million Ray. So grade 1, whenever card's put in the damage zone, she gets 2k. Amazing ride, amazing rear guard for power. So I run her at 4. She's one of the reasons why I don't really run Rescue, because I couldn't, my grade 1 lineup is really tight, and I couldn't think of a Rescue unit that was really so worth it towards getting rid of Thousand Ray, Stride Fodders, PG, or the last grade 1, which is Battle Cupid Nociel, who's, with Gavrail, she's amazing. She's, when you guard with her, swap a card from hand with a card from damage. So she triggers Gavrail's GB2. If you're on Nociel and you have and you put a Nociel card from hand to damage with her skill, you can just add it back so you don't even minus any cards in your hand. I run her at 2 because she's amazing, but like I hate riding her, so 2's fine, especially because the deck thins, and I don't want to spend $30 on her. But she's a great card. I run her at 2, but yeah, there's no, I can't, in the strongest build, like that can probably do the strongest work competitively, Rescue, I personally believe doesn't really make the cut, though I do think it's fun, so I do want to make a deck of it eventually. On the triggers, I'm running 2 Happy Bell Nociel. I'm running her primarily because she's another Nociel target I can add to hand with grade 3 Nociel, but she is a good card nonetheless. She's move herself to soul, swap a card from hand to damage, and choose a card from damage, add it to hand. So if you're grade locked, you can use it to get out of grade lock. It triggers Broken Heart for slight offensive play, so I do like to run her. But yeah, she's primarily because she's a Nociel target. Next, again, the most obvious thing you'll see in the deck is 4 Refros. It's not limited yet, we're doing it. If we get Refros limited to 1, we're gonna swap it for the Rescue stand. But until then, Refros. Counterblast 1, move to top itself to top of the deck. Pick 2 cards in your damage, face up or face down. Move them to deck. Put top 2 from deck to damage, draw 1. So, if you have face downs, it can give you an unflip. It gives you a draw. It gives you power plays for Broken Heart. It gives you swap targets if you have cards you want in your deck. It lets you put triggers in your deck. You cannot talk bad of Refros. Refros is one of the best cards in the game, I think. So, like, yeah, 4 Refros while you can. Next is 4 Sunny Smile Angels. I run her at 4 because 1, she's a heal trigger. 2, she's the card you get G-Guards with. 3, she shuffles herself back in deck. So if you have no targets you want a superior call with Gavrail or Harut's abilities, you can call her and move her back into the deck and just re-trigger her. So you can drive check her, call her, re-trigger her. Sunny Smile is amazing. She run her at 4 because none of the other heal triggers have abilities, so she's kind of a staple at 4, I think. Sunny Smile Angel. On the crits, we're running 2 crit hit angels because it's a trigger with the skill. I rarely ever use it because the deck doesn't utilize soul at all, but she can come in handy, so I do like to run her. So better than any vanilla crit, I can say. And then 4 copies of Black Spark Munkar, which is the Heart Thump clone. So if you're Gavrail, Vanguard attacks, but if you're on a Gavrail Stride, you could have Nociel Hearts. If you're Gavrail, Vanguard attacks, move her to the soul, get 5k, draw a card. I like her because, again, she's a good card to have, another trigger with a skill, but she's another superior call target. If you notice my triggers, every single one of my triggers has a skill. There is not one trigger in this deck without a skill, so it makes all the call targets good. So even if with Gavrail Stride skill, you call her as a booster and then move her into the soul to draw cards, so you don't lose any cards because you're still getting a draw after you lose the unit. But she's a good card. Run her at 4 because she has a skill, and give all your trigger skills. Out of the G zone, the first Stride unit is Holy Seraph Zachariel, who came out in Fighters Collection 2016. She's Counterblast 1, and Counterblast 1, flip over a face down unit, so instant GB2. She's a Blizzard replacement. All cards in your front row gain 3k if you have a face-up card in your damage zone. Then if you have 5 cards face-up in your damage zone, she herself gains 10k. I use her because she's just instant GB2 in a better way than Refros, because... not Refros, why do I keep saying that? With Blizza. Because Blizza gives 5k to itself, which doesn't do anything because it doesn't have on-hit pressure. This gives power to your rearguards, which actually can change things, even if you don't get a stand trigger, because it can build up the numbers enough. So... I run her at 1 for instant GB2. Next is one Holy Seraph Nociel, who's the Nociel stride. She's, if you have a Nociel heart, after she attacks the Vanguard, so she attacks drive checks at the end of the battle step, choose 2 rear guards, not up to 2, it is 2 rear guards, move them to the damage zone, then choose 2 rear guards from 2 cards from damage zone, face up or face down, so you can get unflips off of this and call them. I like her because she, if I'm not in Gavrail and I have Harut, I can use Harut's skill to get a rear guard, attack with her, move Harut in the column to damage, call them back, and use Harut to call another card, so it can fill up my field even from 1 Harut's. And she's nice, she's a good card, she makes good plays. Oh, what I forgot to mention is if the cards you call with her effect are Nociel units, those cards gain 5k, but she's a good card. She makes good plays. I do like her, but really only a one of. Next is one Holy Seraph Raziel, who's one of the, aside from Refros, the reason why you don't run GPGs. When you stride into him, Soul Blast 2, take all cards in your damage zone, shuffle them into the deck, and put the same amount that you put in into the damage zone. So he's unflips everything and makes power plays with Broken Heart and all those cards. So it's still a great card, but yeah, Raziel, unflip and power, can't complain. Next is from GBTO4, Holy Seraph Raphael, who is plain and simply GB2, G Persona Blast Heal. It's simple, it's sweet, you have the room to run 4. It's a heal, guys. Do I need to talk more about it? Next, newly from GBTO7, Black Seraph's Gavrail, whom I've dubbed Red Eyes Black Seraph as a Gavrail, who her skill is kind of confusing, so I'm going to break it down for you. So what it does is Counterblast 1, GB2 Counterblast 1, flip face up, a face down grade 4 Gavrail. This Gavrail gains 2 abilities. The first ability is during your battle phase, when a card is put into your damage zone, give 2 rear guards 2k. So basically, she turns 2 cards into Broken Heart and Thousand Ray. So let's say you have a column of 1000 and Broken Heart, a card's put into your damage zone, these up trigger giving themselves 2k. Her ability, target these 2 again, 2k, you can give them 4k for insane power plays. As well, the other ability she gains is after she attacks the Vanguard, Rescue 2. So if you don't know what Rescue is, you take cards in your damage zone equal to the rescue number. So Rescue 2, you heal that many. So Rescue 2, you heal 2, then you damage check whatever you rescued. And since it's a damage check, if you see triggers, you get it. So you rescue 2, okay, damage check, critical trigger, all abilities. Oh, wait a minute, other ability triggers 2-2, they trigger 2-2. Second rescue check, oh, another critical trigger, critical, power, skill 2-2, skills 2-2. So Gavrail, she's an amazing card. I love her. She's a great card. She's a great addition to the deck because she's another offensive option outside of Raziel and spamming Refros on Gavrail. So I actually mainly stride into her because she helps push for game like that and doesn't stall out. So I love grade 4 Gavrail. She's a great card. And next on to the G guards. I'm running 2 copies of Holy Seraph Suriel, who she's amazing. Like, she's so good. She's when you G-guard, Counterblast 1, check the top card of your deck. So and put it on the top or bottom. So she's Counterblast 1 Amaterasu, and then Rescue 1. So heal a card, damage check. So you can heal the Counterblast, making her ability costless. And if you have a trigger, you can keep. If you see a trigger, you can keep it there to give power to your Vanguard. As well, because you're rescuing during the battle phase, you can trigger Gavrail's GB2 and give power to your front row. So she's amazing. I love her at 2, but I only run her at 2 because Dark Element Dizmel exists. It's if you don't know what Dizmel is, it's when you guard with G-guard with it, pick a rear guard. That rear guard cannot be hit for the rest of the turn, period. So it's a permanent perfect guard. And as well, it basically gets resist, so it can't be locked, retired, rested, etc.
Bullshit.
Dizmel's great. It's an amazing card.
Stop hyping it up to $15. We need that card.
No, it deserves to be. I think it's great. So I run it because Broken Heart exists. People want to attack or kill Broken Heart. She saves Broken Heart. So she's a great card. Dizmel's amazing.
Trigger Dizmel's an it?
Yeah.
Prey Elementals are genderless?
Miles, nobody cares, I promise you. And then 1, because you have the room, Air Elemental Sebreeze, which is the anti-grade 2 game / screw you if you're grade locked. When your opponent is at grade 2, if you're at grade 3 and they're at grade 2 and they didn't ride, if they're grade locked, it counts. Stalling. Or if they're playing the grade 2 game and stalling, you can counterblast 2 and discard a card and stride this. So you can get GBs, you can start those abilities off, and it's funny if your opponent's grade lock, and it's anti-grade 2 game. And what some people for some reason don't know is if you use this ability, you don't need to discard a grade 3 and another card for its cost. You just pay this cost. This cost overrides stride cost.
Y'all are stupid.
True. So, yeah, running at 1 always. So, that's my G zone. I talked about it, Richard.
Also, Sebreeze is elegant as fuck.
No, it's not.
What the hell?
So,
nice.
That's my G Angel deck profile. I'm sorry Miles ruined the end of it, but if you stuck around, thank you.
Love you guys.
If this helped you with a deck idea, I hope it helped you. If you like playing Angel Feathers, kudos. I hope it helped you with your deck if you don't know or you want to build Angel Feathers. Again, I'll probably make a rescue deck and upload it later, but this is the build I prefer. And yeah, that wraps it up. See you around.